Here's the thing about us. We love perfection. We want the perfect body or the perfect routine before we hit the gym. The perfect idea before we start our business. The perfect amount of money before we invest. But this obsession with perfection is killing our ability to take action. Let me give you a simple example. Look at this podcast. It's not perfect. No high-end production, no fancy studio, no background music that makes me sound like a TEDx speaker. But guess what? It's still out there. And every episode, I improve a little more. But if I had waited until the right skill, the right equipment, the perfect voice, the perfect idea, then you wouldn't be listening to me right now. And that's the point. Perfection isn't a starting point. It's a result of starting ugly, starting messy, starting scared, and learning as you go. On that note, let me welcome you back to the Executive's Diary, the podcast where we talk about real success, real struggles, and the messy, awkward, completely unpolished middle that nobody wants to talk about. You see, most of the time, we have a good, not a great idea or a plan, but it's nothing concrete, and we say
to ourselves, I'll start working on it next Monday, or I'll just need to plan a little more. I'll do it when I'm more prepared.
And then Monday comes and goes. And the goals, they keep on getting postponed. And that is exactly what we are breaking down in this podcast today. Things like why waiting for the perfect time is ruining your progress. Why being bad at something in the beginning is actually the key to success. How to stop overthinking and finally taking action, and why the people around you can either make or break your success. Because newsflash, the perfect time doesn't exist. And if you think you need to be ready before you start, well, we've got some work to do. So let's get started. The main reason people don't start, it's actually because of time. We all are trying to pile everything in that 24 hours. But other than that, there's one more factor that results to us not starting. And that is that tiny little voice in our head that tells us, you are not good enough. It is the world's worst motivational speaker. Our brain, that voice, it says things like, you're not ready yet. You're not qualified enough. What if you fail? What will people think about you? Maybe you should take one more course, read one more book, or watch one more tutorial before you begin. And let me tell you something, that voice is lying to you. Because overthinking is just fear in disguise. Your brain is trying to protect you from failure, from embarrassment, from rejection. But in reality, it's just keeping you stuck. Because the real failure isn't trying and messing up. The real failure is never trying at all. But it is easier said than done. I know. But there are ways to shut that overthinking brain of ours and take action anyways. And that starts with accepting that you will never feel fully ready. Spoiler alert, nobody feels ready, ever. Jeff Bezos didn't know Amazon would work when he started selling books out of his garage. Oprah didn't feel 100% qualified to run a media empire when she began. Even your boss didn't know exactly what they were doing on the first day they got promoted. They just figured it out as they went. And that's what you and me have to do. Start before we feel ready and let readiness catch up to us. So, I'm an overthinking queen. And I read this in a motivational book, and I've been trying to do it ever since, and it has helped me a lot. It's called the 5-second rule. It's basically you act before your brain has a chance to talk you out of it. When you get an idea or an urge to do something important, count down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and just do it. Before your brain has a chance to get you out of it. Sounds too simple to work, right? Let me tell you, it's a game changer. Because you see, our brains are naturally wired to avoid discomfort. Thinking about waking up too early, your
Brain says, nope, stay in bed, it's warmer here.
Thinking about starting a business, your
Brain says, wait, what if you fail? Let's just watch Netflix instead.
Thinking about talking to that potential mentor.
Your brain's like, what if they just ignore you? Let's just overthink for this a few more days and then take action.
And the longer you keep waiting, the more your brain will create that excuse. So the 5-second rule works because it interrupts this cycle. It forces you to act before fear and doubt have a chance to creep in. You've been thinking about reaching out to someone you admire, maybe a CEO or a potential collaborator. You open LinkedIn, you stare at their profile. It's beautiful and a fancy profile. And your brain starts thinking, what if they don't reply? What if I sound dumb? What if, let's just wait a few more days and see. And nothing. However, if you follow the 5-second rule, everything changes. You open the chat, count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and type that message. Let it be imperfect. Just type it out and send it before your brain has a chance to interfere. And boom, you just took action. And guess what? Even if they don't reply, you've built a momentum. And that is all that matters. And with that, I come to the next point. I want to tell you about that surrounding yourself with the right people is everything. I cannot emphasize more on this. Well, there's a saying that goes on, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And listen, at first I thought that this was just some motivational nonsense. But then I looked around me and thought, am I surrounded by people who push me forward or people who keep me stuck? Am I hanging out with doers or complainers? Are my conversations more about growth or just about problems and gossips? And wow, that realization hit hard. Basically, there are 3 types of people in our lives. The energy vampires, aka the dream killers, who complain about everything, their job, the government, their life, the circumstances, and it sounds like they have a really good reason why they can't start something, or they don't have the time, or it's not their fault that they are not successful, or they are in this health or whatever. And when you hear all of that stuff, and when you try to say any of your ambitions, they ask you stuff like, what's your plan B when this fails? What are you going to do in the next 5 years if you take this route? Now, don't get me wrong. We all have bad days and we all complain. And these people are also not bad. They might be, or they are our close friends or family members, and they're just concerned about us. But when you get in the zone, where you keep hearing them, then everything they say rubs off on you. And your energy level drops every time you talk to them. You sometimes even start questioning your dreams or goals because they just make you feel stupid and dumb. That why? What sense does this goal make? And the second type of friends are the neutral zone friends, the comfort crew. Now these people, they're not toxic, but they're not helping you grow either. They're fun to be around with, They support you as long as it doesn't cause them inconvenience. They don't challenge you, but they don't hold you back either. And at first, this sounds not bad, right? But here's the danger. They make you feel too comfortable. They don't push you out of your comfort zone. They're not leveling you up, so you start staying at their level too. And you're someone who wants more out of life, then staying in this zone is the worst because nothing grows in the comfort zone. And the third set of people are the people who push you forward, your growth circle. These people challenge you, these people inspire you, these people make you feel like your dreams aren't crazy. When you tell them something like, I want to quit my job and build something on my own, they don't say, are you insane? They go about saying, that's amazing. What's your plan? Tell me more. How can I support you? And these are the people that we need in our life. Because when you're surrounded by the high achievers, the go-getters, and the people who are obsessed with growth, you start thinking bigger. You start taking bolder risks. You start believing in your own potentials. Because now you're in an environment where success is normal. I'll tell you something. I'm currently staying in Ulm. It's a city in Germany. And I'm working at a co-working space. And this space is mostly inhabited by people having startups. Now, at first, I didn't think much of it. I just needed a place to work. But suddenly, I was surrounded around people who were actually doing great things. There was a guy in the building who has his own startup, and he has 2 more jobs because he needs jobs to income to sustain his life. There was a woman launching her online course, and she's like an initial mother. And there was a freelancer scaling his business and landing clients worldwide. And you know what happened? Just being in that environment flipped a switch in my brain. Because now success wasn't that I saw on the internet. It was something happening right in front of me. And I realized I needed to raise my own game. I needed to stop making excuses. I needed to be around people like this more. And that's when I stopped waiting. That's when I started taking massive actions. And if you're struggling to get started, maybe it's not motivation you need. Maybe it's the right environment. And with that, we are coming to the end of this podcast. You don't need the perfect plan. You just need to start. You don't need to feel ready. You just need to take action. You don't need to do it all alone. Surround yourself with people who push you. And let this be your sign. And listen, you don't have to do this alone. Every great success story has a strong support system behind. And that's why I've created this Executives Diary community, a place where we hold each other accountable, push past fear, and take real actions together. So if you're ready and stop making excuses, then start this group right now. The link will be in the description box below. See you inside. This was Sarah Kamal, your host. Until next time, stop waiting, start building, keep pushing. By the way, this video is sponsored by Campus Ready, who is run by an exceptional set of inspiring men, and they have recently launched a product that helps students preparing for presentations, exams. It's completely free right now. The link will be in the description box. Do check it out, and trust me, you won't regret. That's all for today. Have a great day ahead. Bye-bye.